Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So let's welcome Arpit, who wants to say about Dr. Radhakrishnan.
First of all, I wish Happy Teachers Day to everyone present here. Most respected Administrator Sir, Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, teachers, seniors, juniors, and my dear classmates. Today, I am Arpit standing in front of you all to present a short speech about Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. When we think, we know, we cease to learn. The words motivate us to seek higher knowledge in each phase of life, since learning is a lifelong process. The students in us would never fail if we have teachers par excellence like Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. He is undoubtedly one of the most recognized and influential Indian thinker in the academic circle of the 20th century. He was a role model, an incalculable source of inspiration, and a great statesman for all our teachers and students. Dr. Radhakrishnan was born on 5th September 1888 in a middle-class Brahmin family at Tirutani in Tamil Nadu. His father's name was Sarvapalli Veeraswamy, who was a revenue official with a local jamindar, and his mother's name was Sithamma. His father did not want him to study English and wished that he became a prize insect. On seeing his intelligence, he was allowed to pursue school and higher education. Being from a financially weak family, he sustained his studies by taking second-hand books from his cousin. He got married at the age of 16 from his distant cousin named Sivakam. The couple had 5 daughters and a son by the name Sarvapalli Gopal. He graduated with a master's degree in philosophy from Madras Christian College. During this time, he was introduced to Western thoughts. In 1918, he was appointed as a professor of philosophy at the University of Mysore. Now, I am going to speak about his contribution towards our nation. In 1921, he was appointed a professor of philosophy at the chair of mental and moral science at the University of Calcutta. In 1929, he was invited to take up the job of a teacher at Manchester College, Oxford. This gave him the opportunity to give lectures on comparative religion. In 1931, he was invited to take up his second vice chancellorship at Banaras Hindu University. In 1946, he represented India in UNESCO. In 1948, under his chairmanship, the government appointed Education Institute Education Commission. In 1949, he was sent as Indian ambassador to USSR. He also served as a member of Constituent Assembly immediately after Indian independence. In 1952, he was selected as the first vice president of our country. In 1962, he was finally elected as the second president of our country. Now, I am going to speak about his visions. Dr. Radhakrishnan was a man of great vision. He saw an increasing need for world unity and universal fellowship during his term in office. He wanted to promote international peace and cooperation. He called for the promotion of creative internationalism based on spiritual foundation of integral experience, so that he could promote understanding and tolerance between people and nations. Though he did not have any active political background, he kept an impassioned guard to Hindu cultures against uninformed Western criticism. His ideology was simple but effective. Now, I am going to speak about his works and his awards. Dr. Radhakrishnan was conferred with many awards and recognitions, including the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna in 1954. He was the first to be conferred upon the Sahitya Academy Fellowship. He also received Peace Prize for German Good Trade in 1961 and Templeton Prize in 1975. He donated the prize money of the Templeton Prize to Oxford University. During his life, he wrote many books such as Indian Philosophy, The Philosophy of the Upanishads, and Eastern Thought and Western Religion. In his major work about the idealist view view of life. He laid emphasis on the importance of instinctive thinking. During his tenure of presidency, his students and teachers his students and friends asked him to allow them to celebrate his birthday, which was on 5th September. He asked them to observe the day as Teachers' Day instead of celebrating his birthday. From then till now, 5th September every year is celebrated as Teachers' Day. Now, I am going to conclude my speech by saying that it is our privilege to have such a great philosopher, a teacher, and a great thinker in our country. He will always remain in our heart as because of his unimaginable contribution in the field of education. That's all. Thank you and happy Teachers' Day.